Waiver wire ads. I'm going to start out here. You could mention a lot of guys here. I think if you're looking at your trending page on Sleeper, you'll see names like Ezekiel Elliott, names like Christian Watson, names like that, and maybe Jake Browning, people that that may be more obvious there. I got a clear waiver wire ad for you, and then under the radar one I'm going to go over real quick. My clear waiver ad is Jordan Love. Now, he is rostered in 63% of Sleeper leagues, which is still too low, actually. It's obviously it's more than that 50% where we try and stick around for on this waiver wire segment, but 4 straight weeks as a top 10 quarterback, 10 touchdowns and 2 interceptions over his last 4 games, and the remaining schedule is fantastic. I think the Packers might win out, and I think they could. I think they have a chance to win the division. I'm serious. This team looks awesome. So it's crazy stuff here, but they just knocked off the Chiefs. They scored the most points that Kansas City has given up against an offense all season. They look great, and the receivers are awesome. He's awesome. They're doing really well, and all that with like no run game. So good stuff there for Jordan Love. And now my under the radar ad, and I'm not going to go too far here because it's also a Green Bay Packer. And my under the radar ad here is Dontavion Wicks. He is 3% owned, but he is the presumed fill-in wide receiver here if Christian Watson is going to miss any time. Now, the first 4 weeks when Christian Watson was injured and not playing fully, Dontavion Wicks averaged 60% of snaps for that time frame. He's been pretty good in his limited touches. The thing with Wicks is that he's a boom or bust guy. He can make a big play, but he's not going to get peppered with targets here. But he has been pretty good in limited opportunities. This is a big dart throw, similarly to last week with Jonathan Mingo. But Dontavion Wicks is my under-the-radar ad, again, because he has a great schedule going forward. And this may be more for the Christian Watson owners than anything else. But somebody you should keep an eye on here because he is definitely a name worth mentioning. Those are my waiver ads of the week. Wes, why don't you jump into yours? Unless you have any comments. But, I mean...
No, I think Wick is an interesting one to mention. I'd like the caveat, or the condition rather, of this is for Christian Watson owners just to have maybe a decent replacement, because obviously you can't just go pick up Romeo Doubs. But yeah, we'll see what happens there. But Jordan Love is playing fantastic, and they did, mention they have a shot to win the division. They did split with Detroit, so if anything did happen with Detroit falling off a cliff, who knows? But Jordan Love is playing great. Playing very great, and as we mentioned earlier in our Fluker for Real segment, you can expect 20-plus points from Jordan Love every week, and it's pretty nice. So my waiver wire ads, plural, one of my I don't think, as you said, I don't think there's really an obvious ad, but I will say I don't think you need to get Ezekiel Elliott. I don't think he is the person you need to go get unless maybe you're a Ramondre Stevenson owner, but like 10 points on a game that, I mean, you probably saw the game watching at home, right? It was 0-6. I mean, they're a bad team. The Patriots are a bad football team. There's no other way to put it. They are bad. There's one other way to put it. I probably can't say it through the microphone here because we want to keep it as PG as we can, but one of the Patriots players, after they lost to the Giants, he went up to Saquon Barkley. Did you hear this? And he was like, he's like, "You're lucky we're butt. You're lucky we suck." And then you see a picture of Saquon laughing, and then he had to go, and then that Patriots player had to go apologize for like, "I'm sorry, we shouldn't be distracted by comments off the field." The Patriots are terrible. I don't think Ezekiel Elliott is the waiver wire ad of the week just because Ramondre Stevenson's down. My favorite waiver wire ad this week is going to be Taysom Hill. You got Derek Carr just barely breathing. He's just doing everything he can to bandage up and put lead in his body so that he can just be some kind of Terminator and play for the Saints for whatever reason. Taysom Hill has been used so much already again, and if you have Jameis Winston as the official starter, you can expect Taysom Hill in your tight end slot to be throwing and running and receiving a lot, and that's fantastic. My under the radar, Someone I was so excited about going into the season, did not pan out a lot, but is looking very interesting after 12 targets on Sunday. Elijah Moore, Cleveland Browns wide receiver. Mari Cooper's in concussion protocol, but even outside of that, guess what I was reminded of watching that game? Joe Flacco, Mari, and Elijah Moore have already played together. They played together last year for the New York Jets.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was targeting him a whole bunch, especially in the second half of that game. So keep your eye on Elijah Moore because 12 targets is a lot. And no one's going to talk about him because the official stat line is 4 catches, 83 yards. Okay, whoop-de-doo. I'm not going to go get that guy unless you look a little deeper and you see, oh, yeah, they do know each other. They know each other very well. So those are my waiver wire ads for week 14.
Hopefully, these will help carry you through, fill some slots for you, fill in a bye week or two, maybe. Hopefully, these are worthwhile for you.